All right, bro, check this out.
I don't want to show the world too much.
All right.
What's up? I'm gonna show you your Lego guy.
Just taken out right away.
Yeah.
We're here, man. Writer's Block together.
We're back.
We're back.
In person.
Here, we're in person.
I'm not gonna give him the flu this time. So, you didn't get it.
I didn't.
Thank God.
Yeah.
All right.
God is good.
Let's go.
Cheers.
It's pretty great. So this is my Christmas present for my kids. Look at that, dude.
Yeah.
It's a Lego cup. Isn't that genius?
So dupe.
Yeah, I was
So
very excited.
Yeah,
And my
great.
son helped with the design of this.
It's a great design. It's got like
Yeah.
a Tetris vibe and a guy standing on the moon.
Let's go.
Kind of cool.
It's amazing.
All right.
So
What are we talking about today?
let me do the intro. I'll do the intro.
Do
bit.
it, do it.
Okay. I am a writer. Mark is a writer and also an actor, producer, TV personality
Do
guy.
my slashes, and you got to throw your slashes.
I'm also a pastor. I'm a physical therapist. So we got some slashes. We've been in the game,
And you're also
life for a while. I'm a guitarist. I've been playing guitar for like 20 years. So I love guitar. But you don't care about that. It's fine. We're both two writers. We're talking about sci-fi, fantasy, the properties that we love. If you love the same stuff that we love, then you might like the stuff that we write.
Probably.
So that's going to be really cool.
yeah.
Today we are continuing a discussion that is very fun. Tropes.
Tropes. What? Do you want to give the title another shot?
The title?
Yeah.
What do you think? What should the title be for Tropes?
I don't remember what you said last time.
Tropes
You said,
Volume
tropes,
2.
Hate them or love them.
Oh yeah, I love that. What do you think the title should be? Tropes, hate them or love them.
Tropes, you got ones that you like, and sometimes there's ones that you don't like.
True. And what I found is I'm a grumpy old man. And so my opinion is like I hate it or I love it. There kind of is no in between.
I think it's
really.
better that way.
Yeah, I guess you can say meh.
You can be indifferent to it. Yeah, I guess you're right. You can be
Pardon the
meh.
interruption,
So-
guys. If you can help us out and hit that subscribe button, or at least tell us what you're thinking about the content, that would really help us to bring you bigger and better stuff. Back to what you
Meh.
got.
Meh.
So meh is an appropriate answer, but it's either total trash, I hate it,
Yeah.
meh, or I love it. Oh my gosh, let me tell you all about it. Where do you have anything to do today? You don't? Great, let's sit and talk about it.
You know, I think that when you're thinking about tropes from like a digestive, like you want to talk about it, or you have to make it, like you're writing it. It's got to be hate it or love it. Like,
Yeah.
you're right. Like there's probably a lot of meh tropes out there, and if we hit on them or you hit on them to us, if you're mad about it and we're mad about it, we're gonna let it keep going.
We'll let it keep sliding. What's
Yeah.
fun is the extremes.
Yeah.
And we're both writers, so you really run into a lot of tropes when you're writing. Real quick disclaimer, tropes are not good or bad. They just exist. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. You probably aren't creating something completely new from scratch. It probably has existed in some form, and some things exist over and over again.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that no one's creative. Sometimes they exist over and over again because they're speaking to the human condition.
Yep.
Or they're just great.
Yeah.
So, but then they can be overused.
Ooh. Okay. I know. I'm already gonna break our part a little bit.
Go. Let's do it.
Here's one that I love.
Okay, go.
When in a story it talks about the cyclical nature of something, like it's going to happen again.
Oh.
You know, like they go like, oh yeah, every 10,000 years there's a city purge that happens here. Why? We don't know. Or they know why. But like, I like that trope. It gives you a countdown intrinsically. Everyone in the world either knows. I like it better if they don't know, but it's there, like it's a fact.
Oh, like if they've forgotten that it happens,
Yeah,
and
if
they're
it-
just rediscovering it
Every
again?
millennia it happens. Like let's say
Yeah.
great video game called Mass Effect. The whole thing is about that there's these Reapers. Spoiler alert, if you've not played this game from 15, 20 years ago, there's these things.
I've never played it, so I'm like.
All right, so Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. It's a story of our galaxy. Humans come in, they got like faster than light travel.
Okay.
And within this place, all these different aliens have lived. They've come to like a universal government that they've gotten. Humans are just now getting involved in there. Backstory to what's happening though is they find this big place they call the Citadel in the middle of like the galaxy, and it makes everybody want to go there. There's already mass relays lined up like that shoot you forward to different galaxies or star systems, pardon me, that they found, and people think like the species that comes after thinks the species before set it up, But really, the oldest species there is like, no, we found this.
So no one knows where it came from.
Right. And
Okay.
if you find out that there's these things hiding in dark space where there's no stars or anything like that, and they're just hanging out there. And
Awesome.
They're biological machines that were created billions and billions of millennia ago from an earlier species that was trying to figure out how to stop mass wars that like exterminate and kill everybody in the galaxy.
Okay.
Anyways, the robots become sentient and they decide the best thing to do is to kill everybody but leave only non-star star system species alive in the galaxy so that they can propagate to become the greats, and then you kill them too. Just keep harvesting them and making new robots from them. These things are
Okay.
like planetary size. And so people clearly forget, right? You forget what's happening because it's like
You can't keep up with that much history.
yeah, that's 20 million years or 2 million years between each wipe, right? So that's the whole story. Now, of course, we're in the apex of time, the precipice. So it's like the game starts and it's like, yeah, time's like now. We're coming for you.
They're coming now. Yeah.
And nobody
Oh, that's
knows
cool.
and nobody believes that your main character that's doing this.
You know what's cool? This is a quick side note. Is as writers, one of the things you have to learn is where do you start your story.
Ooh, yeah.
And so I love that all that is baked in, but you know they're probably not just going to tell you all that from the beginning. That used to be how people wrote books.
Yep.
Now they just drop you in and they're like, something's going on and it's ancient and you're in the middle of it and here's a little gun or whatever and good luck.
You
And then
gotta figure it out. Here's your handgun.
and you figure it out over time. But I think I like that trope.
Yeah.
I think I like it a lot. I think it's the best ever. You know, best ever, worst ever, meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's cyclical. It's always it's happened before and it's happening again. And it kind of comes at the intersection of multiple tropes of like the prophecy trope and some of this stuff. I like that stuff.
Me too.
Like I'm I'm a pastor, so I'm like a spiritual guy. So like I think there's something spiritually about it. This thing that's prophesied that keeps coming back. And if you read any kind of prophetic literature, a lot of times that's how prophecy literature actually works. It's usually not like there's a chosen one and he's coming. And it's usually not that specific. It's usually talking into a specific moment about that moment, but then it's also going to have repercussions later, and then again and again, and maybe it comes all the way to fruition with like a chosen one kind of character or something like that.
Right.
But usually there's cycles to it, which is very interesting. That's how prophetic literature actually works. So cool. Best ever.
Best ever. Gives a little air to it.
Yeah, I like that one. Okay. I'm going to go on and say it. I'm going to get my best Danny Glover voice. So this trope right here, how do you feel about it?
Well, let me get I know what you're going. Let me get my Mel Gibson hair.
Yeah. I like how we switched that around a little bit. I'm too old for this shit.
Hey.
How do you like it?
I
Thoughts?
love it. I love it. It's so on the nose that it becomes comedy, but it gives a sense of like brevity if you're writing it in, because it's clearly going to be like an old guy who has a shotgun or a big old axe or or flies like a big space freighter.
And he's out of his prime.
He's out of his prime. He's not Han Solo anymore. He's like, I was Han Solo. Now I just ride solo. He says fun lines.
I used to be that guy.
Yeah.
One day long ago.
Long time ago. I'm not that guy anymore.
Yeah.
That's another.
That's where it all comes
from. It's the same thing. Yeah. And I love it. It works so well because everybody knows somebody that is that person. You know, they can be like, oh, my grandpa used to be a Golden Gloves boxer back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, I used to be that guy. And you're like, you're still that guy, grandpa. And he's like,
nah.
I love you. And no,
yeah.
You are such a strong kid. And I would have wiped the floor with you. Grandpa would have back in the day. And now I need you to pass me that salt.
Yes.
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 You know?
And you see that guy get thrown into action again.
Yes.
Or that girl get thrown into action again when they're way past their prime.
Yeah.
And this is what we just talked about, is like a great question to ask when you're creating stuff is like, what's the best moment to start this? And so it's not in his prime. You start this when he's this close to retirement. He's already done all that.
Yep.
And that's when the actual narrative begins. And so now I've got it could be the same person, but I've got a totally different character with a totally different outlook on life. I just want to get out of it. But I've got all these untapped, these skills and resources that I've accrued that are undervalued. No one gives a crap because they just see the old guy.
Yeah.
And so you kind of get a lot of different elements to it. Like, You get the underdog thing. You get the person who's been counted out. You get all of these different elements. And you get to see the benefit of experience. And I think, you know what I mean? And you get to see that in play, and you get to see that character being smart and have to do things a different way because they can't just muscle through things anymore.
You know what's interesting about these characters? I picture them like Clint Eastwood or Helen Mirren as the people that like embody it in film and stuff. I think that I'm Too Old for This shit is the same as a young person that just is a supernova and is going to burn themselves out for a cause. Because effectively, to me...
Or they're like opposite tropes, sort of, right?
Yeah, they're two ends of the same... They're opposite ends of the same coin.
Yeah.
Because they function the same.
Okay.
Because if you go like, okay, there's Billy, and like, gosh, this is going to go into a different trope, so I'll feed into it. If we need this person that's not going to stand for this injustice, or he's got to save the world. And maybe he's a supernova in the sense where his star doesn't shine bright for a long time, but it shines very bright and dies very quick. Well, that's a cool story to tell about this person that overcomes all this adversity, overcomes all this stuff to accomplish the thing they need to accomplish. And of course, that's the end of their journey because they probably die. That's the same as I'm too old for this, and then that's the one last ride for them.
Yeah.
You know, where they go like, and they do it different. The guy or girl from the supernova does it through like their angst, their courage, their belief in themselves, and their indignation of what's happening.
Well, and they're naive. And it almost, that works against them. It helps the narrative, because you see them making stupid mistakes. But it works against them as a character, but maybe... being naive makes you take the risks that no one else would take to be the one to plow through the wall. And people love to see that. That's awesome. You want that person to succeed. But and that also sets you up for tragedy or for success kind of equally. You don't know how if it's starting with the person who's burning bright, there's going to be some bumps in the road and you don't know how it's going to end.
You don't know.
So
I want to write a character who's both. Who has that foolishness, and then at some point through the story, they change into the I'm too old for this, but they maintain. I want to write a character who goes back in time to their younger self.
Oh,
that's what I just thought. I was like, cool. That's the only way I can do it is have them not go into a situation the way they want to, fail at doing it the way they want to do it, and become what they don't want to be. Get to the end of their life to where they regret things so hard. And
they have to try it again as the experienced version of themselves.
Right. In the body of their younger self.
Oh, see, that's the extra wrinkle. I think it's cool if I was grabbing both and trying to put them together, I would have the failure, and that's your midpoint of the story. Like, it's they call it a false high or a false low, usually, because the story's not over, so it can't be the end, unless it's some crazy story where they're like, protagonist is dead, so here we go. Remember the best friends? Like,
they've learned from this.
So most of the time, you have a false high, false low, so that would be a false low.
Yeah.
Because then they live their life, time passes, right? Because I'm controlling the narrative. If I'm the writer, I can just go, it's better for the story for 30 years to pass.
Like that.
And now I'm 60 and washed up, and now the opportunity comes back. Getting back to your cycles thing, maybe the cycle comes back around, because that happens in our lives too, right? And it's like, all right, now I have to go after this. And I've learned, time has beaten the lessons into me that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to do it the smart way. And then they succeed. But I guess that's just the second one, like the first one. That's just the I'm too old for this shit. Because
that's just I'm too old for this shit. Yeah, that's just I'm too old for this shit.
That's how they got old and washed up, is that they failed.
You didn't mix it, you just said they started this way and now
I guess I just love that one trope.
You just love I'm too old for this shit.
There's a great quote from Toby Keith, he's dead now, God rest his soul. But there's one of his songs where he says, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was.
Yeah.
And physically, that's true. You'll see someone who's like 60, 70, and like maybe they can't if they're hitting a baseball, maybe they can't just hit home runs every time. But if they still got the swing, if they catch it right, like they can still drive it out of the park.
Yeah.
It's just the consistency that goes down. That's what happens when you age. I'm a physical therapist too, so like a lot of times you still have the attributes. It's just you can't just do it constantly now. And when you sort of miss, you miss all the way. But you're smarter.
Right, and you know why you did it. Not just being like I'm old. You go, the mechanism of what I was doing was, if you're throwing your football, if you're Tom Brady, Peyton Manning or something, you guys are probably still beasts. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure that for Peyton, who's been out of the game for so long now, like he's probably like, yeah, no pressure on me and sitting in my backyard, I'm hitting 10 for 10 on these long balls through the tire.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you send some real pressure at him, put him back in the game, and he's like, I can throw better now, to be completely honest. Like if he's still been practicing, honing his craft. But he's like, but I'm not gonna hit this. This is not gonna be on target. I don't have the ability to do what I was doing all the time.
More things have to line up.
Right.
So yeah, dude, I love that trope. There's so many good examples. Of course, the Danny Glover one is just like the best ever.
My favorite.
Just watch all the Lethal Weapons.
Yeah,
so fun.
You know what's funny about Danny Glover in those though is every time that he says I'm too over this shit, that's when you're in trouble, not him.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. He says it as funny stuff, and then they leave, and stuff happens, and he says it again, and then he and Mel Gibson win.
Yeah!
Every time. The guy's driving away, he's like diplomatic immunity. It's just been revoked. I'm too old for this. And bam, and it's 400 miles away while the guy's on an airplane and takes him out. I'm like, that's when you're in trouble if he says it. Anyway.
Yeah, I love the reluctance. That gets into another trope is like the reluctant hero.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times with the older characters, it's like a reluctant hero. So yeah, that was just I can say a lot.
Quick interruption from Sam here. Look, we're a new channel. We're still small. We're some just little guys, and don't you want to help the little guy out in this messed up world, where there's big bullies pushing people around. They're just stomping on everybody. Help the little guy out. Hit the subscribe button. Help us grow. And hey, when we're big, we're gonna help out the little guys here.
Every time you mention and we talk about the older people doing this, it makes me go like, gosh, the other side of this narrative coin is younger people. The reluctant hero is almost exclusively your quote-unquote older character, which could be a 30, 40-year-old person if like 18, 15-year-olds are walking up to try and instigate them to come back to the resistance or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be an 80, 90-year-old guy if, your stories are more mature or the people in them are more mature. But then the younger people are also, they're the farm boy who goes like, all I know how to do is farm. And the servant girl who's like, what do you mean I need to lead the army? I just know how to do this.
Yeah.
She's like, all I am is I just polish the swords. I don't swing them. And they're like, get on the field, Joan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's a love for us. Long story short.
Love it.
Love it.
Alright, I got another one. Oh yeah. Okay. This one, my face is already giving it away. Alright. Miscommunication drives the plot.
I hate that. That's
okay. So I hate that too. I think that's almost kind of universally hated.
Yeah.
Almost universally hated. It's there for a reason. Like it's a thing.
Because it happens in real life.
It does happen in real life. But how? And I think we also have to say, there are really legendary stories that rely on this trope.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's just crap, right?
You said it. None of these are intrinsically bad. It's how well do they serve the story and how well are they executed.
Correct. So the example of the success is Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay, so that story's about a lot. We've talked about that a little bit. But like miscommunication drives a lot of it. And so like I think Mercutio's the guy who ends up getting killed and starts almost like this like mini little like a gang war essentially. He dies. That's mostly miscommunication. I mean, even as he's dying, because he's a jokester.
Yeah. Like
they think he's being an idiot and being funny, and he's literally like, "Go get help! Like I'm dying," and they're laughing, and then he drops dead.
Yeah.
And it's just like.
If you guys don't know anything about this guy named Billy Shaky.
Yeah. This guy named Shakespeare.
Yeah.
He was pretty good at writing.
He's a pretty good writer. If you don't want to read it, because it can be, it's not hard to read. It's fun to read, but it's kind of like you got to learn to read it a little bit.
You could probably get a translation that's a little updated.
You can get a translation, or you can watch the Leo.
Yeah, watch the movie of it.
One with John Leguizamo. I think he's recruiting.
Really, I love him.
So good, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's part of it, and then Romeo and Juliet end up killing themselves, and that's miscommunication.
Yeah.
And they wake up like one of them is faking their death. I forget who. I think Juliet's faking her death.
Yeah.
He thinks she's dead.
Right.
He poisons himself. Right before the poison kills him, she wakes up and she's like, "I faked my death so we could be together." And he's like, "Oh crap!"
Son of a biscuit.
And he dies. And then she's like, "I'm so sad he died." And she takes the poison. She dies. And it's just like. this sucks.
Yeah.
But I think you have to say that that's a successful example of the trope.
It is
So
successful.
why do you hate it?
I think that is such a good success of it. And by the way, I don't actually like the trope even in success. Like, another thing is, I think things can be great and I don't like them. Example, Shawshank Redemption is an amazing movie. I don't like the movie. That doesn't mean
I
it's
do
not
like
good.
it. We disagree.
We disagree. Well, everything that you're going to sell me on why it's good, I'm going to agree.
You're
with you.
agreed. Yeah, it's just not your thing.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
best cricket match in the world, and I'm going to look at it and say, that's really cool. These guys are athletic and great.
I respect it.
And I don't watch cricket too often because it's just not my game. But
We're ostracizing our cricket fans. No, come back! Don't leave!
that doesn't mean it's not good. Like I said, I get it. I think cricket's as good as any other sport. But like, what did I grow up with, and what speaks to me?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
everything speaks to different people, and that's cool. But I think that like it's really difficult for me because I think a lot of writers and storytellers and books and fiction in all aspects, from movies to comics to traditional fiction books, they utilize it in a lazy way.
Yeah, I was about to go rant on that, but why don't you continue?
we can tag off and
We can tag team.
Yeah.
But that's actually why I hate it.
Yes.
And let me just say this real quick.
Do it.
So as a writer, you're gonna write your story. You're gonna get to a certain points, and you're gonna be like, the reader's losing interest because there's not enough conflict and not enough. There's not enough friction and stuff. There's not enough stakes right now.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out what to do. And that's especially in a romance, where this is like more common. But in any story, what if I put these two characters against each other? Okay,
Yeah.
well, dope idea. How are you going to do that? Misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I feel like it's an added ingredient on the back end to fix a plot issue.
Yeah.
And it's not even really what the story's about.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And
Romeo and Juliet is about that.
It's about that. That's why it's done well. And I think like if you had planned for it, like let's say character A and character B get into an argument or a fight scene or a disagreement from a misunderstanding in the middle of the book.
Okay.
The straight middle of the book, let's call it chapter 5. If you were building up to it from like chapter 3, then that's awesome. Like if they were just like,
It just feels different when you're building in that direction the whole time, because
Yeah.
you see it as a reader, you see it coming.
yeah, you see the
You're
cracks.
like, oh no, this could be bad. You
Right.
know, and that makes you flip the page.
Yep.
And then you get there and you're like, no! And it
Yeah,
happens. Yeah.
It's so, and then you're watching the train crash happen.
In slow motion.
Yeah, instead of all of a sudden you're in the middle of the train and everything's beautiful, and then your train flips. But we're the reader. We're not supposed to be in the train.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
or we're the movie watcher, or we're the TV show watcher, or whatever it is, comic reader. We're not in the train. We feel like we are, you know, but like we're not. So we have to have a bit of omniscience about. Not saying the story has to give it to us, but the story needs to show it. Like, we need the omniscience of being like, hey, you guys are not on the same page, even though you guys are walking now thinking you are.
And you can see that in.
We need to see it, just like your friends see when like you're in a bad relationship, or like they're like you show up with your best friend and you guys are arguing, and your other friends are like, "Are y'all okay?" You know?
Yeah. So I think you can still do the train crash thing and make it happen, and it really be a earned moment.
Yeah.
And because it happens in real life, right? Everything's going great, and then something sets things off, and it's a disaster all of a sudden with
Yeah,
your
that's
relationship. But I think that would more likely have to have a lot of reality to it. It couldn't just be a total misunderstanding and feel satisfying and not just tossed in. And then I was, so in one of my stories, there's a betrayal, and it's crucial.
Mm-hmm.
But when I wrote that story, I knew I was going to do that.
That's
and
important.
so in scene 1, you like this character. So the character who's going to betray one of the main protagonists, you like this character a lot, but I'm already seeding it.
And that's the point.
Like, just the way he like puts his arm around, like he's like a little sexist, but just not too much. And he's just trying to like be a little forceful about paying for the meal, and like maybe he interrupts and cuts her off a little fast. And then they get on the topic of like his trauma, so like something related to his dad. And you just see this edge to him that you're just like, okay, this guy's multi-dimensional.
A real person.
But those are the seeds that bloom into a decision point later on where he's like, I have to betray you.
And I think that that's valuable though, because that makes sense, you know. And you don't have to like or hate this character going through the whole thing. You can like him a lot, you can dislike him a lot, but either way, you understand.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. You have to understand why, or know that it makes sense. You just don't know why, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Even if you disagree, so let's say a misunderstanding splits them apart. Why do people actually fight because of misunderstandings? It's because they've got all their trauma, their biases, their blah blah blah. So maybe when she says this, I hear, so you don't think I'm a man or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, I didn't say that.
That's not what I said.
But that's good character building because it's coming from
it's coming from your trauma. It's coming from your history. It's coming from your past.
It's digging into my actual flaws as an actual person.
Yes.
But if you fast forward all that stuff, or if you're just not good at writing characters and real people, it's gonna be, you're just gonna fight about something dumb.
You're gonna fight,
and it's gonna feel real dumb.
No one ever is really arguing about the dishes. Just so you know, we're both married.
That's like the best way to say it, right there. That's such a catchy way to say it. It's not about the dishes.
It's not about the dishes.
I love that.
Yeah.
So if you're a writer, it's not about the dishes. Make it not about the dishes.
And if you're watching and you like reading and watching stuff and you're wondering why it doesn't feel right, it's because they're making it about the dishes.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be about the dishes.
Yep. Too simple.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't that simple.
They're not that simple.
So I've got my little paper here.
Yep.
Let's see here. Oh, okay. Big bad drives everything. The big bad it says the big bad was driving everything.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love it.
Okay, tell me why.
I'm guessing you're hating it.
I'm gonna keep my car. No, I can't. I have no poker face.
You're showing everybody.
I don't like this. I don't like it. And maybe I'm just triggered because I've seen some projects do this wrong.
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Should I go into?
You should go. I'm ready. Go ahead.
So what comes to mind is the Bond movies. Recently, you know what I'm talking about. One bad guy was behind everything.
I can tell that you don't like this so much that you might as well tell them what grinds your gears.
Yeah, so this one grinds my gears, folks.
What grinds my gears?
So this grinds my gears. And what I think of is the Bond movies. I forget which one it is. They start to run together, but it turns out that one guy was behind all the movies recently. All the Daniel Craig movies. It's like this one guy was behind it all, and I'm like, no, he wasn't. Like, you weren't seeding that. And then they tie it together. It's so clumsy. He's walking through this dilapidated building that the bad guy has led him into, and there's every room has a picture of a different main character or plot point or someone that died, and it's I was behind all this, James, and the music's dun, 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 and James is oh my god. I don't like it because I think you can convince me to like this.
Okay.
The reason I don't like it is because I've seen so many billions of dollars worth of movies recently where they try to wrench them all together at the end on the back end. It doesn't work.
Correct.
And it just makes me really mad at the people who are controlling these properties because they're great properties and they're usually characters alike. And Star Wars is guilty too. Mm-hmm. You can see the writers just struggling so hard to make it all about this thing. Palpatine. That's the line, right?
Yeah. Palpatine.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
He did it.
Wow.
That's the line. He goes, and even the actors are having to deliver terrible lines, and they know it, and you see it on their face.
It hurts.
Even though they're pros. He's somehow Palpatine returned. Man.
That was take 400. And
yeah.
It's just we got it in the can. Can we just move on?
Or at that point, it might have been take one. They're just fine, whatever.
They just said,
Oscar Isaac, we love you. Go. Your hair's amazing. Here we go.
He
actually isn't. I love that dude. Anyways, so yes, I don't like it. That was long. How do you feel?
I love it, but I don't love. You
don't love the bad versions.
Yeah, I love the concept of it when done well. Again, and I know it's done poorly, but that can't make me. I don't dislike burgers because I tasted bad burgers. That's how I feel about it.
I feel like I'm in therapy right now.
You don't. You don't.
It's okay.
Burgers. Yeah,
burgers are good.
They're good.
All right, say more. I'm with you.
All right, so if just like the breakup thing, it's not about dishes kind of conversation we just had.
Okay.
If you didn't see it, go and check it out. If you are building up to it and you're putting in the work to make this bad guy actually making these moves, it's fantastic. Because if you're let's go to the Bond example, because you gave enough for people that didn't watch it to probably have like some kind of vibe in
You watched it and you forgot it because it all just ran together. And that
Honestly,
one movie, you were just like, what?
That's the one where Bond dies, right? At the end.
I think it's the one before that.
It's the one where, his brother did it, right? His brother.
And then he comes back, I guess, that gets into the family trope where everyone's related.
Yeah.
Ah!
So much. Why did they do that? Yeah. All I remember is there was walking on ice at one point, because it was just so whatever. But the way that it can be done well, in my mind, is you simply have to, you don't have to show the bad guy. You just have to show that there's a hand moving behind everything. And you don't have to show that like somebody's calling up like the big boss of the first Bond movie with Daniel Craig. He doesn't have to be like, I'm the boss, and turn around and be like, boss, you're the boss. What do I do now? Like that's stupid.
Or you don't have to have the camera on like from the mouth by the phone, but every other scene.
Yeah, exactly.
But you do. I agree with that. That's good.
And so you just have to leave some breadcrumbs. You don't, and that's maybe it. It's a breadcrumbing effect.
Yeah.
You need breadcrumbs that people missed, so that when you explain it, when Bond, instead of like, bad guy on the wall, remember him? I did it. You know,
which is getting into the villain trope of monologuing, right?
Yeah.
Like he's so.
I hate monologuing.
Yeah, I do too. But that's kind of like a monologue at that point, because, and narratively speaking, again, we're writers.
Yeah.
So we know it could be so cool if the bad guy's like the type of a jerk who has to tell you everything before you die or whatever, just so that you're really sad.
Which
and you
is a cool
acknowledge
personality,
them.
but
it's just been overdone.
It's
a very specific personality.
Mustache turners.
Yeah, mustache turners. So like there's a way to do it right, but it's just been overdone. And so then you've got the monologuing thing kicking into, then you probably have everyone's related kicking into. So now you're stacking tropes on top of each other, and it's just like
it gets bad.
But I like what you said about seeding it, and I just want to say how hard that is as a writer.
It's very hard, yeah.
Because too little, and you're not going to catch it as a reader, because why would you be paying attention to the guy that's on the edge of the shot, who's in the coffee shop, who's looking out the window, drinking his coffee or whatever? That's the same guy. You're not thinking like that as a reader.
Yeah.
So that doesn't count. It's too subtle. But if it's too overt, then it's like, oh yes, he's behind it all or whatever. So you have to get that balance right, and that's hard. And you have to, hey Disney, you also have to have all the stories written. You have to know where you're going.
You have to start the story with knowing what you're doing. Yeah.
You have to know where you're going, and no one does anymore.
Yeah, you can't. If you're doing that trope, you can't pants it. You have to plot it.
And maybe it's possible to pants it if you're like, I know I'm going to make this bigger later.
You're right.
And so you're just throwing purposeful hints, like. And then later on, you're like, all right, so now I have to write a villain who blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you're right. You can pants it as long as you know that you want to do this throughout the whole thing.
Yes, and
so that you can always
be throwing hints towards something that you don't even know.
Which is kind of cool, which might be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You said
it's not the best way to do it.
It's not, but if it's done well.
If that's what I would do.
Yeah.
That's
if you're Stephen King or Sam, you could do it. Here's one that you said, though. Monologuing. I hate monologuing, but I've seen it done well.
Oh, okay. Examples.
Example, in Black Panther, and this is, I'll tell you why it was done well.
Okay.
Michael B. Jordan's character delivers a monologue.
We talked about this recently, and his motivations make sense.
His motivations make sense, so that means what he's explaining to you makes sense to you too. You can fully immerse yourself and get on board with the concept, not saying the actualities, right?
And you care because he has a viable concept,
right?
And you have a viable understanding of him as the watcher. You care how he got here. How did you get so broken, man? I mean, I agree with you, but like, what formed this?
What twisted it?
So you want the monologue before it even comes. That's important.
You gotta want it.
That's one piece. So why else does it work?
He was dying. It makes sense. What else are you doing? You can't move. You got a sword or knife through your chest, right? You're dying. So like, if you're on top of the world and you just have to kill James Bond, shoot James Bond. If you're a writer or a movie maker or a comic maker or whatever you're doing, if your bad guy gets to the place where he can kill the good guy, what should he do if he has any intelligence over that of a P? He should pull the trigger.
Or if he is that type of a twisted guy and he's gonna talk crap. You might have to give him that as a win. It works if he talks crap and then he actually gets rid of the good guy.
Right. Like, that's okay.
That's gutting. And it's not the trope. You're just like, he monologued, but he
broke
freaking killed this dude.
Well, that's the thing. Someone has to die.
Yeah. There's no consequences.
There's no consequence. You can't give the monologue on a video screen because you got other places to be, Mr. Bond. And then they leave.
And it's clear that Bond's going to escape.
He's going to get out.
But if it's... Because a bad guy wouldn't monologue.
Right.
If he's a super genius, unless you're cooked. And at that point, I guess you could execute an escape. But it can't be someone swooping in on a vine.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be like...
I would almost love it more if the bad guy would monologue and then he's staring, like he leaves the room and you subvert the expectation. You let James Bond escape. He gets to the next room, it closes, and he goes, "Oh, Mr. Bond," and it's the bad guy waiting across some glass being like, "Yeah, I told you you're dead. I just knew you were coming here. Yeah, I wanted to see you one more time."
That'd be gutting, dude.
That'd be cool.
But then he's gotta die. So
absolutely. Then
and the Watcher's like, "What?" James Bond just died, even though he just did.
And then the next chapter goes James Bond Jr. And
yes, they start the next book halfway through. At the midpoint. All right, dude. We've got 3 minutes, and we're gonna be on time today.
We're gonna do it.
So we got 3 minutes. That's a short. Okay, here we go.
Cool.
So, all right. And the short begins now. Bam. All right. I got a new one for you. You got to be quick.
I'll do it quick.
Ancient Evil Awakens. How do you feel?
Love it. I love it. It's great in video games. It's great in storytelling. It helps you move the plot along and people understand that the world's about to go down. You?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love Ancient Evil Awakens. I love when the bad guy's kind of just like the devil.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. I'm a pastor. I'm a spiritual guy. So, like, the concept of evil being harder to get rid of than just getting rid of one guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I like the Demon King arises and everybody's got to get their swords and run over there to, Mordor.
And if it reawakens, that means it's starting out and there's a power imbalance.
Yep.
So the idea of the bad guy being really strong and you as the reader or the watcher watching it and being like, I legit don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Now that might be hard to conjure that sense of like terror because you've seen the evil reawaken and die so many times. Probably they throw the ring into the
but
into the volcano.
It's a fun roller coaster.
It is. It's almost always a fun roller coaster, and it's always a terrifying bad guy, which is great.
I got a lightning round one for you. Here
go. Lightning round.
I want to hear you first.
Okay. You've already told me.
I already told you. I dislike it when a character.
Okay, he dislikes something. What is it?
A character is written just to die.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I understand it as a writer.
I understand it, but give them some more to do.
So you know how you can get away from that? Give them actually give your characters a chance.
Yeah.
So I wrote a couple characters to die, and one of it because I was like, they gotta die. Of course, it was the funny guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, he's definitely gonna die. He wound up being this idiot who was unflappable, and he kept being creative and figuring ways out of the situations that I put him in because he was such an idiot. And I was like, and he ended up making it through the whole story and actually being really integral because it was a creative character.
Yeah.
And his creativity kept producing options that as a writer, I was like, dang, this dude about to live.
I got to give you some credit here. That makes you a really intuitive and smart writer because that means you're putting your characters in situations being like, dang it, if he is who I said he is, he gets out of this. He beat me.
He beat me.
He keeps beating me. Dude, you were supposed to die.
You were supposed to die. There was another guy that was like that, and he was just this funny dude who, I don't know, you could see his butt, he was he'd be wearing the super suit and his butt sticking out. He was funny and dumb, but he ended up being just rough.
Yeah.
And he survived the whole freaking thing because he was just so tough.
I love that you do this trope a lot, but they keep beating you.
They keep beating me. I want to do this trope. So yeah, I don't know. I it's not a good trope, but I like it, and somehow
you don't even do it.
I don't do it. I don't do it. So there you go.
That's awesome.
All right. Hey, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a blast. Peace.
Peace.
Y'all have a great day. All right, bro. Check this out.